just a spiritual connection.
Charlie's your muse.
My muse? No, I think I'm Charlie's muse.
Oh. You're Charlie's angel.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. But yeah, I don't know how he feels about showbiz. I mean, it's all he's known. So I think he would strangely think it's easy because he just kind of was born in the spotlight.
Oh, yes.
He didn't have to struggle. He's a fucking Nepo baby. That's what Charlie is.
Charlie the Nepo baby.
He has no idea how hard life is. He just was born and had a spotlight handed to him.
Charlie's Hailey Bieber.
Actually, fuck Charlie. I hate Charlie.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events. Fortunate events. Series of fortunate events.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode of the series of Fortunate Events Podcast. Brought to you by who? It's still me, MeMeCherry, from the beautiful Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas, joined by another beautiful
Kiki Maroon.
returns. By the way, you are from the last year my mom's favorite guest.
Oh, yeah. I love
Yeah.
your mom then. I love people that love me.
Yes. well, yes. I can relate. But yeah, my mom was like, oh my God, that girl that you had in LA, the burlesque girl, the clown, she was so funny.
Hi, Mom.
I was like, oh yeah, hi Mom. She's on a cruise, I think, right now. So yes, hi Mom. Cruising the world. So yes, you were part of my Los Angeles trip last year. And at that time you were preparing to come to where we are now,
Yes,
Las
Vegas.
Vegas. Oh my God, I'm trying to manifest that the next time I see you, we're either in Puerto Rico or Paris.
Oh my God. It's so funny you said it with Paris. I do keep thinking about like Moulin Rouge. Like what is the next like goal? Where do I want to take Charlie? Where do I want to go? So I think we might be co-creating right now.
Yes, nice. Yeah, my mom, speaking of my mom, work is taking me to London in June, and we're going to take the train to Paris. So I'm going to Paris for the first time.
Oh my God, you're going to love it.
So excited.
I was in London last fall, summer, something like that. And I did not see it till after I got back that, you know, like those sushi conveyor belt places, they have one that's cheese plate. Where you pay per like the hour, and it's just all the different. It's like just cheeses. It's basically just a mobile like charcuterie board, and you can just try every cheese.
It's just a ratatouille dream.
Yes, yes. And I was so sad that I didn't see that video till I came back because I was like, I would. Go
And that's
to
in London
just for that. Yes.
I'll have to tell my mom about that because that
Yes.
feels like something me and my mom could do. Oh my gosh! But yes, so we're here in Las Vegas. So from the last time to now, you made it out here. The show has been great to you.
Amazing.
You made a permanent move. You now have made Las Vegas your home.
Yes.
First of all, talk to me about that choice. How has that been?
It's been wild. It's been wild. I have such I've always had a weird like concept of time. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't
Same.
get it. And then I think like it all got so amplified by COVID, where a day was forever and then a year was gone so fast, and like everything was so weird. And so it's actually like I love coming back to the podcast because it's giving me these hard markers of time of like, what was last time? Holy shit. So much has happened. Oh my God.
So much.
But yes, I spent 3 years working so hard to create Charlie, to build this dream. And it was just this ongoing, just this forever climb up a mountain. And then once it happened, it was like bam, 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 everything. And so we did the debut. After the debut,
and even that had like its moment because you worked so hard, you like landed yourself in the hospital, young lady.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. No, that's even before. Oh my God. So Charlie's first debut was before the show.
Okay. Yes.
That was like my debut.
Oh, because the debut is how you got booked to do
the show.
Mavericks. Yes.
Yeah. I put together my own show, a big circus party.
Yes.
The intention was to record video of this act, of this prop, to be able to send it to people to book it.
Yes.
And or do my own tour.
Yes.
With it. that's how the producer of this Vegas show, Mavericks Las Vegas at the Plaza, 6
downtown Las Vegas.
Amy she saw the pictures, the videos, everything of this act, and so
because you'd sent her an invitation hoping that she would come.
She didn't answer,
of course, but then she still
she
got tapped in. Yes,
when she saw Charlie, she was like, oh wait. So she she was opening this brand new show at the Plaza, like a very classic variety. I say classic, it's a very twisted variety show.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of comedy, and it's like the burlesque is a little bit, not twisted. What's the word? Like it's
a little cheeky.
Yeah, there's like
a little
got
extra
twist.
cheekiness to the cheeks.
And so, so she was like, I'm about to launch the show. Would you fuck a tour, come do this? And the contract was originally for 3 months. And I was like, okay, great. So I kept my apartment in LA. I'm like, I'm gonna be out here for 3 months. And that's before that debut is when I threw my back out.
Bendito.
I was rehearsing way too much, and it's just a lot on my body. It's a mechanical bull. And so like 2 days before I was supposed to debut is when I threw my back out. So I was out for a month, which was so insanely depressing.
Were you scared?
I was so scared.
And that's so generous of them to like still, don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's just little beeps and bobs going off.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just little calendar notifications I should have turned off.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I was impressed with the generosity to like, and that's great. That to me, that's an artist who knows the life of an artist.
Yes. And I actually, so I'm really tear up already thinking about it. What happened was, we were, I'd been rehearsing and we were doing our light tech. So, I was going every day and like just running the act so they could like do the lights. I'd be sitting on Charlie. They're like, okay, no, spotlight too big, reds, blues, whatever. And we were doing all that. And so we had a couple of days of that. And so this was like 2 days before I went there for our final light tech. They were like, okay, we have to do some stuff. Like before we start, you can go get some breakfast, do whatever. So I walked to the restroom and when I bent over to wash my hands, everything just like seized up. Right? And I was like, oh fuck, because this hadn't happened to me in years. It used to happen before, but it hadn't happened in years. And like everything seized up and my legs stopped working. And I was just like, oh my God. And so like this like older woman just helped me like to walk at least to a one of the chairs at the slot machine, like right outside the restroom. And that was like, I was screaming with every step. And so I called my husband, now husband, he is not at the time yet.
Shout out husband.
Yeah, that's a whole story. Oh no, wait, actually I'm lying. We had just got married. My timeline is so screwed up right now. We had just gotten married the week before.
Time's a construct.
And so, so I called him and I'm like crying. I'm like, you have to come get me. And then I called the producer. She's in the showroom a couple feet away, but I can't even walk over there. And I was just like, I threw my back out. I can't walk. I'm outside. And so her and the stage manager and everybody like ran out. And I am just crying because in my head, I'm like,
I'm about to get fired.
It's over.
Yeah.
The show is debuting in 2 days. And I just fucked everything up.
Oh, you poor thing.
And, so I'm crying because it hurts, but I'm crying because I think I just ruined everything. And,
oh my God, I joked that I love making people cry, but you poor thing.
It was like so intense, and I remember I was just like waiting for Finn to pick me up, and Amy was like, it's okay, and I was like sitting in the chair and I was looking up at her, and I was just like, I'm so sorry. And she was so sweet, and she was like, don't be sorry. She's like, it's okay, you take care of you. And like as we were like finally walking out, she was like, do not worry about it. She's like, it's okay. She's like, you got this. She's like, and she said this is not about Charlie, this is about you. You're part of this show. And it was like, just to say that, and I know she probably doesn't even remember saying that or what it meant, but yes, I loved Charlie and I built so much.
Because it's not like she was going to like, give that balloon dog number to somebody else or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, just so much of like, I worked so hard to build Charlie, but it still feels like, but he's the star, he's the spectacle of it all. And when she was like, no, the show needs you to be okay. And it was just really like, it just really meant the world to me that she wasn't looking at me as oh, well, there goes that
some
act.
Disposable
Fuck
talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't a disposable thing. I wasn't disposable,
you sweet
and
angel.
it just felt, it was just so sweet. It still was hard, of course I'm laying in bed like, just like, that's it, it's over, but she was so sweet, and she's like, you You take the time. You need to heal.
Yeah, because the last thing when you're trying to heal is like be worried about like, oh, all that stuff.
Yeah, and she was really understanding about it all. And even when I was like, okay, I think I'll be ready in 3 weeks, she's like, that seems very soon. I want this to be long term. I don't want you to come back and immediately hurt yourself again.
Yeah.
So she was the one that was more patient about it. And just so understanding about it all. And I know we've talked about this before about, what are the lessons? Why was it a good thing? Even though sometimes you don't want it to be a good thing. And it's like, that is what taught me, oh shit, like I'm like an athlete now. I've been a comedian and a clown for forever. If I'm going to be doing a residency, I need to treat, I am an athlete now. I need to treat it in a different way. And so I got a physical therapist and I got a trainer and I started learning all these things. And
you got some little muscle there, man.
Little ones. But it forced me to really level up, to make this a sustainable thing. If I'm going to do this every day, I got to treat myself differently. Yeah. And so that really taught me that I can't. Yeah, it's not the same as I love stand-up, but it's not the same as stand-up. Yes. I really got to work out.
Yeah. So what's something that your body taught you in this process that you never thought you would learn before?
Are you familiar with the book, The Body Keeps Score?
Yes, darling.
It's so intense.
Yeah.
It's so intense. This forced me to really understand and acknowledge the mind-body connection. I have always been I've been disjointed.
Compartmentalizing maybe a little too. We compartmentalized a little too hard.
Perhaps.
A little too close to the sun.
Perhaps maybe you become a clown because you run away from reality every second that you can.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had to do things to survive that required me to heavily compartmentalize. And then it took me many years to like deconstruct those compartments in me.
Yes, that was a lot of the realization of, like the mind-body connection. Understanding that, like, yes, I was working out, I was rehearsing too much, and also I was scared, I was stressed, I was, worried that I wouldn't be good enough for this show.
A little imposterina moment.
Yeah, and there was just a lot of what do you call it?
Because it's quite the show. Like I would be intimidated, and you are one of the like big anchor numbers of the show, and so I can only imagine the pressure that you must feel.
It was and I did not realize, and it was so funny because everybody that I caught up with, that they would check in like, are you doing okay, how are you? I'd be like, I just started physical therapy, I'm working through it. The number of times people were like, and how about, like, have you started mental therapy as well? And I caught myself, and I was telling my best friend, and I was like, I don't know why everybody keeps asking me if I need a therapist. And when you say that sentence out loud, you realize it's time for a therapist.
Yeah. It's one of those that, like, if everybody's saying something, what's the common denominator?
So I realized.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because I went down that path last year, too, after a really bad breakup, and, like, was in the middle of like the whole questioning my relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
I had done a short-term sobriety thing. At that time I had started drinking again. Therapy helped me realize that A, the breakup was a good idea, and B, revisiting my relationship with alcohol was also a good idea. So now I'm freshly a year sober.
Congratulations.
Thank you, darling. California sober. So excuse my cough. I smoke weed still. But my brain is just so much better. And I'm coping so much better with life than I used to, for sure. And making more of that mind-body connection.
Yeah.
Because for so long I was numbing my body, trying to numb my mind.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Trying to run away from the voices in my head.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. I went 8 years without drinking. I no longer identify as sober. Sure. That is a personal journey that I've been going through. But I know that I needed at that time that break.
Yeah.
Of course, I fought it for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
But when I started that journey, I realized I had never felt my feelings. Because if I was happy, I drank to celebrate. If I was sad, I drank to the sadness away.
Yes.
And so that first 2-3 years were the most intense years of my life. And that's saying something. That was some fucking intense times.
Yeah.
But it was just so, having to actually feel everything for the first time.
Yeah.
I had no idea. You know, it's going through puberty all over again, where you're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like flirting, dating, like
the
that's
worst.
been a thing.
The worst.
Yeah, I've been like falling on my face, like just left and right, and I mean, it's okay. I'm happy. I'm happier with the choices that I'm making, and I feel more grounded. I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I'm doing right now.
Yep.
You know, keeping a day job, taking care of my dog, going to the gym. You know, starting 2 businesses, not 1, 2. And being able to hang out with beautiful people like you.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. You know, it's not easy. I don't think anybody says it does, but if they do, they're lying.
Yeah, right.
It's not easy because being a human is hard.
Right.
And also, like many things, it is completely worth the challenge of it all.
Yes.
It is so completely worth it.
If Charlie could talk, what would he say about showbiz?
What would he show you about showbiz? I think, oh my goodness.
And what would he say about you?
Well, he loves me. We have a confusing relationship. I'm still trying to figure that out because, you know, I often see him. He's like my creation, you know? And so whenever they roll him out, I'm always like,
are you in awe?
I'm in awe. I always think about, like, because, you know, he's what kept me going during lockdown was this idea of this thing that was going to happen afterwards.
Yeah.
And so when they roll him out, I never feel nervous or scared. I just look at him as he's being rolled out and I connect with the me in lockdown that would listen to the song over and over again. And I had this little bench at the foot of my bed and I would like sit on the bench and like spin it with my legs and like go through what I knew the choreography was going to be. And so I'll like think of being that person rehearsing and dreaming at that time as he's being rolled out. And I'm like, we did it. We did it, you know? And I speak to him like a baby where I'm just like, I knew you before you were born. I saw you, you know?
I call her my emotional support crumb. I feel like Charlie's your emotional support crumb.
And so it's just, but then also like I ride him to, and then I come. So it's also like he's not really my child because that's not appropriate.
That's not right.
You know, so I feel like we just have, it's more of like just a spiritual connection.
Charlie's your muse.
My muse? No, I think I'm Charlie's muse.
Oh. You're Charlie's angel.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. But yeah, I don't know how he feels about showbiz. I mean, it's all he's known. So I think he would strangely think it's easy because he just kind of was born in the spotlight.
Oh, yes.
He didn't have to struggle. He's a fucking Nepo baby. That's what Charlie is.
Charlie the Nepo baby.
He has no idea how hard life is. He just was born and had a spotlight handed to him.
Charlie's Hailey Bieber.
Actually, fuck Charlie. I hate Charlie.
Charlie bucks you tonight.
Oh, God.
No, Charlie, we love you. We love you. I've asked your other castmates this, so I must ask you if you could trade numbers with anybody of that amazing rotating cast of so many talents. Who would you trade numbers with? Scarlett famously, in my head famously, would trade numbers with you. I won't ruin what Trice said or Scotty yet. Who would you trade?
But that's why I was so touched when I saw the clip from Scarlett.
Yes.
Because it is 100% Scarlett.
Right?
And that's not just like, she said me, so
Of course.
No.
No, I mean, likewise.
But I mean, that's probably why we like each other so much is just like.
You're in awe of each other's.
Just like the makeup and the hair, like just so polished. Yeah. And then to combine, and I said this the very first time that I saw her act, I was like, that was amazing. I just have such a deep love of like circus and burlesque and drag, and like she combines all of those things, and like that's what I do. I combine all the things, and the added layer of the acrobatics and contortion and the way she's like doing these cartwheels and upside down, and then like she makes her butt sit on her own head while lip syncing and doing like the drag thing, and I'm like, how is your body and mind doing this?
Has she ever done a handstand on Charlie?
No, but nobody has ever ridden Charlie but me.
Ooh, I like
Nobody
that.
has ever ridden him. Everybody asked. I think like
That's like me with my glittery microphone.
yeah, like 5 people have ever even touched him.
Huh.
Because like one, because my baby, but 2,
course.
it's also like a liability thing.
Oh,
you know?
yes, of course. Insurance, all that stuff, yeah.
Insurance. I know how he's balanced. If you tilt forward, he tilts forward. Like this is just I can't risk anybody hurting him.
That makes sense.
You know, although some people have the audacity. I've had people who have not spoken to me in years message and be like, "Hey girl, I was wondering if I could borrow your dog for the weekend." And I'm like,
Borrow your dog like he's a purse?
I wouldn't even loan you my shoes. What are you maybe start with a hi. How are you doing? Been a while. People are insane.
That is true. People are insane. And I mean, I've had some ballsy DMs, but like I wouldn't even dream.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
Crazy.
dream.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. What does Charlie think of your wardrobe?
He doesn't see much of it. Oh my god. You know what? He probably hates my G-string because it is all crystals.
Oh yes.
And so it is like the crystals are like rubbing on him. And so he's probably like, "Can you please get something furry?"
It's like if you were petting a dog with like the back of your nails.
Yes. He's like, "Please get something soft, please."
What's something people misunderstand about the art that you do?
What's something people misunderstand? I think, well, there's what people have told me, and there's what my imposter-y brain thinks. So there's two.
Give me
two
both.
answers. I have had people. I'm so grateful to have so many people who have followed me for years, who have watched the journey of getting to this, of having a residency, of having this act, of doing all this, and I mean, like just this week I was crying because some people from Texas, you know, I love when people from Houston, from my hometown, come and go like, we came from Texas. I'm like, ah. But like these 2 guys in particular, they had a picture from one of my shows like 9 years ago. And so when people have watched the journey and they're like, "We're so proud of you. We saw, you know, from the idea to the build, to the GoFundMe, to the like the actual like having a residency, like they've seen it." And I'm just so grateful that 1, people care, and 2, to remind me of my journey. When I'll be having like a cranky day, I'm tired, and when they come up and they remind me, I'm like, "You're right, everything's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch. I shouldn't be sad ever."
Oh.
And then there are people who I'm grateful have just recently met me, recently seen what's going on, and have, you know, asked not so polite questions about like what my family's financial situation is, or because Charlie's clearly a big, expensive, like this.
So people assume that you're some like trust fund baby or something?
Yeah, that basically where they're like, "Oh wow, that must have been expensive."
I never would.
But you know though.
Yeah.
That's because you know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I do know the story. I do know the lore.
So it's like if you don't,
I guess from the outside I could see that, but I don't know. I it's interesting, right? I think it's because I'm around so many self-built artists that I guess it's not my instinct to think trust fund baby, but I could see how somebody else would see that. But that blows my mind.
Yeah, it's really wild.
That is that is a big misunderstanding.
I also, as you know, I recently got married, which is fucking
congratulations.
insane. Thank you. That's still wild to me. I still think about like.
And before I forget, I love your little Mario mushroom earrings. Yes.
I used to do speed run Mario Maker too.
But yes, your husband.
Yeah, so I recently got married, which was like just a huge shock, both to me and to like, you know, people that follow, because I did my stand-up for so many years was about how I was forever single. I was forever going to be single. I was like, fuck dating forever, you know, and I was always telling all the stories about all the terrible dates, you know, and so, you know, Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
shocking.
couldn't tell at first if it was real or not.
People literally were like, ha ha, ha. And I'm like, no, for real. No, for real. But
That's why I went on the safe side and was like, congrats.
yeah, question mark. But no, it's real. And so, and like I said, that line, the way that everything happened at once, I got married and a week later was the debut.
Yes.
So a lot of people saw this kind of thing. And so that's another thing where people were like, oh, so like, did your husband pay for that? I'm like,
Oh my God.
you know, like people just have all these assumptions of
patriarchy.
I think what I find comfort in this idea of like, when you do something grand, sometimes people want to find out why it was easy for you, because that makes it easier as to why they don't have.
Sure.
Do you know?
Yeah,
it
yeah,
must
yeah.
have been easier for you for some magical reason, and that's why I don't have that yet.
Yes.
And that's not the case at all.
Yeah, it reminds me, I was talking to Scarlett yesterday about a different conversation I had with somebody else that like that person, you know, it's weird, right? Like sometimes people want to give you compliments, but like sometimes it feels like a sideways swipe. And so this person was like, oh, you know, do you ever see somebody who's like super talented at a lot of things and get annoyed at them? And I'm like, no, I get inspired by people. Like that's hater shit.
That's awful.
And then I think it threw them off. And then like in the end they were like, well, I was just trying to give you a compliment. And I was like, well, I understand that to you that's a compliment, but to me that just sounds like hater shit.
Absolutely.
When I see Beyonce, I don't get annoyed at Beyonce being fabulous. I get inspired by Beyonce being fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. But it says so much about the person. Like how, you know, they say like the world is like a mirror. You know, how you feel about these things says so much about yourself.
Say it louder for the ones in the back. We have very quickly, my dear, reached our first commercial break.
Okay.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
I could just talk to you for you and Scarlett. I could just talk to you for hours. You stay right there. You also stay right there, right? Because I'm gonna treat both of you the same way. We'll be right back.
I was wondering, do you remember that you have a Patreon?
Wait, I have a Patreon?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Not only do you have a Patreon, but you also have a certain level of each Patreon that each person can aspire to become.
Yes, you can aspire to be one of my patrons.
What is the first level?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked the honey level. And in the honey level, you're going to get a sticker in the mail. You're also going to get production credit.
Hey.
And you also get access to hot cam footage, editing footage that used to end up on the editing room floor digitally that now ends up in your hot little pockets in your honey level of the Patreon.
What is the second tier?
We have a sugar tier. In the sugar tier, you're going to get not one sticker. You're going to get 2 stickers in the mail every month. You're going to get the production credit.
Hey.
You're going to get the hot cam footage.
Okay.
But you're also going to get the new Patreon exclusive What's in My Snurse and or just other Patreon exclusive content that would not be at the honey level because honey, you're okay, but you're not sugar. If you take sugar and you throw it in a pot, put a little heat on it,
Okay.
you get caramel.
There's a caramel tier now?
That's the top tier.
Okay. I have to know what is in the caramel tier.
What's in the caramel? You get 2 stickers in the mail every month. You know that you also get a little note handwritten by me?
What?
Yes, everybody gets a note with the stickers.
Well, that's fun.
I mean, it's like Christmas. I told you.
Okay.
You get the stickers. You get the production credit because you're what? A producer.
Hey.
You get the hot cam footage. You get the snurse footage. You get the other Patreon exclusive footage. But you also, and we are coming up on the first drop of these that people are going to get T-shirts in the
Look at this.
mail because every 6 months, the caramel level gets a T-shirt in the mail. So yeah, so that is the Patreon.
Patreon.
Fucking cute.
I know, right? Yeah,
So cute.
It's so funny. It's like a logo that a friend of mine did for me years ago.
Cute. Out of the cherry blossom.
And then I added all that. Yeah, I added the cherry blossoms in the back. So like this kind of like is the classic old school logo, and then I have cherry blossoms.
Oh.
And so yeah, so I had to add the cherry blossoms and then like the little starbursts, and then
So
I just
cute.
made that like my little card design. Yeah. Oh, I brought one for Scarlett, but I forgot. I need to get your size next time. I can send it to you in the mail. I have T-shirts now. I have like all kinds of merch, so I'll send you a shirt. And
Love
that's
it.
one of the that's one of the things. I got it going. That's a red light. Still going. And that's a red light. Beautiful. Okay.
Hello.
So, I love this. I've, every once in a while somebody asks me like, what is your podcast? And now I've refined it to say it's an interesting conversation with an interesting person. But for a long time, I used to say that I was the love child of Barbara Walters and Andy Cohen because I would love to make people cry. And then I had to like let that one go because it sounds cruel. And so thank you for being so emotionally available and vulnerable and like here with me and sharing such a story because, it's interesting, right? Like the life of a performer, it has so many highs, but it also like for as high as the highs are, the lows can be quite low.
Yeah.
What is something that people wouldn't know about the cast of characters that you work with at Mavericks by looking at them like from the audience on stage? Like you're in the backstage running around with them being real people.
Oh my goodness. I think what's something they wouldn't know? Honestly, I think that people think that because there's so much behind the scenes stuff now that people think like, oh, like this is them on, but backstage, they're just people. Like that's a very healthy thing to think.
Yeah.
But no,
The shenanigans just hang out.
Crazy. Like it literally is crazy. And what I think is really beautiful about Mavericks and different is that there are a lot of shows, just not even just strip shows, just in general, where there's a creative director. They have these concepts and they bring people in, almost like casting a role. That's not what Amy did. Amy has done shows performing like for I don't even know, like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
She did Edinburgh forever. She did like variety shows forever. And so she curates people that make their own solos to create her show versus saying, you're going to be the stripping clown. You're going to be you know what I mean? You're going to be Scotty the Bunny. Like she finds people who have made their act, polished and perfected their act and brings them into her crazy group of Mavericks.
Sure.
And so I think because of that, everybody has spent so many years becoming this, being this, embodying this. They are that backstage.
Yes.
Scotty on stage is Scotty backstage.
Oh, yes, I told you walking in that to me, as soon as Scotty walked out to Uber, it's the closest I think I will ever have to having met Andre Leon Talley, but like a white version.
Yeah.
But like it just, the energy was energying. The fabulous was fabulous.
Yes.
Like I had my cards and literally 2 minutes in, I think I did that. I don't think I picked them up the rest of the time.
No, Scotty is Scotty. Like Scarlett, yes, Scarlett's in drag and everything, but like even out of drag, still, carrying herself with that level of like, no, bitch, like every people, they are themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm a clown, like yesterday, 2 days ago, I had just washed all my costume. So I was like, oh my God, like I have this one part where I pull these boxers out of my boxers, as like ooh, sexy with like little kiss things. And but I just washed them and packed them, so they were all wrinkled. So I had to ask the stage manager for an iron because I'm like, I'm not gonna have wrinkled boxers out of my boxers. But there's no ironing board, so like they're like doing stuff and walking. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm just on the floor like with my legs open, like ironing my panties, in my full clown makeup. And like that's a very clowny vision, but I'm just doing my shit.
You're just doing your job.
I'm just doing what I gotta do. I gotta iron my boxers, baby.
I gotta iron my panties.
Yeah, but it's like so it really is just as weird backstage. Honestly, we need a fucking reality show.
Yes, you do. I love that one that you did. I think it was Michelle Lamore gave me a one of her old outfits.
Oh, she gave me one of her G-strings.
And it's like this big.
She was going through a purge and she was like, I have all these costumes. And I was like, I'll take this string, please.
I love that. When you're getting ready, what do you say to yourself in the mirror?
Oh my goodness. What? I mean, when I'm doing my regular makeup, I'm usually just listening to podcasts and not at all present.
Well,
while
yes.
I'm doing it.
Well, yes. Similar. Yes. I can relate.
Not on earth. While
Shout
I'm
out Just
doing it.
Trish. I was listening this morning as I was getting ready.
But while I'm doing my show makeup,
Yeah.
I get very, like I said, I just always, because it's very easy to get into like the day to day of like, this is every day now. And anytime I get the normal feelings of like, okay, I don't know, I don't want to go to work today, but it's work, but whatever. I like remind myself like, this is all I ever wanted. This is the thing. This is, and I always, there's that saying, remember you're where you once dreamed you would be, or something like that.
Yes.
I think about like how past me, who was, getting ready for my barista shift, or, going to work at a club, or doing all these different things that I did to get here, how I would have traded that moment in a second for this.
Yes.
And so and then I'm just like,
yes. Oh my God. I feel like such a boomer sometimes when I share those stories with like some of my younger friends, but like, yeah, like I remember, having 2 jobs and like barely making the rent. And I used to work, one of my jobs was in the city, and I used to live in Oakland, and just getting to the city was so expensive. And I found what I think to this day is probably, if it's still running, the cheapest way to get from Oakland to San Francisco. There's this like commuter van for bike messengers that like, it's like a van with like a hitch in the back for the bikes.
Yeah.
And it's literally like $1.25.
Oh my
and like
God.
you see, it's like me and like a bunch of like funky bike messengers like paying in quarters, and like literally MacArthur BART station to downtown San Francisco. And then I would ride my bike to, the expensive part of San Francisco to work at like a florist shop. And yeah, when I'm here, kind of like grinding away at all of this and working the day job and making sure that she gets walked out. Yeah, I do have to take a second and be like, I did, like, this is what I dreamed about. I have one of those screenshots too of like those Instagram posts of like, this is where you are. And every once in a while it comes up in my like, remember this? And I'm like, yes, you were.
I put it on my fridge. I'm just like, I need to remember.
It's real. I tell that, I do that to myself too sometimes in my apartment. Like I look around and I just tell myself, you did this,
You did
Mariana.
it. Yeah, you did it. Absolutely. Actually, so this goes back to the makeup thing. This is another one where I'll have like it gets to be normal, and then I'm like, get like really empowered by it. Is that, I, on top of, waitress, barista, bartender, all these different things, I also worked dancing in clubs on and off for a long time, in even leading up into the year, trying to pay off Charlie.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to make some fast money. I'm in Vegas. Let's do it. And so I would go and perform either comedy, stand up or burlesque show. And I would not wear any glitter on me, because you don't want to have glitter on you in a club, because guys don't want to go home with glitter on them.
Exactly.
And so I would just like, no glitter, no nothing. But I have, since my full makeup is already done, I would get done with the show 11, midnight, go straight to work, go work there until like 5 a.m. and then go home. And so it was a fucking grind for a long time. And so now when I'm getting ready, I do like a full like body glitter, and I'm rubbing it on, and I'm just like, I get to wear all the glitter I want now.
I know that's right.
I'm not going to a second job. And it feels like it just feels so like, where I'm like me, not having to do the male gaze thing to pay my rent.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I'll glitter everything.
Again.
I'll glitter everything.
And it's funny. I think that reminds me of something I thought of a little earlier when you were talking about everybody being who they are on stage, backstage. I think probably that might be why you all are so good at your numbers, is because you're authentic through and through. Yeah. And so when you're on stage, you're authentically you. And so it delivers, it shows, it carries. And so that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to play a fun little game?
Yes, always.
We're going to play Slot Machine Confessions. I'm going to pull an invisible one-armed bandit. Okay. And it's going to be kind of like speed round style. So, spiciest DM you've ever gotten.
Ooh, they get a lot of them. Most of them I don't want.
I'll take that as an answer. Diva moment you're willing to admit.
Diva moment I'm willing to admit? Skip. I don't know.
You rub your stone panties on Charlie. If your performance style had a scent, what would it smell like?
Cotton candy.
What is your performer ick? Like something that makes you go, ugh.
Oh, like about other performers? About just doing it?
Yeah.
People who will proudly declare that they don't rehearse.
Oh, I co-sign that one. What's the hardest part of being a performer?
People.
What's the best?
People.
Ding, 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 ding. Good job. It's funny. I had my friends turn the tables on me for like the 8-year podcast anniversary. And like, I get it. Like being on the spot, like, it's like, oh my God.
No, it's literally like the same. Like you could ask me the exact same questions in the regular format. And if I have 2 seconds, I have an answer. But the cha-ching, I don't know.
So you also, you mentioned that not only do you ride a balloon dog, not only have you danced in clubs to pay the bills, but you also do comedy. A running theme on this show, whenever I have a stand-up comedian now, is I try to talk about the resilience of performers that do the art of stand-up comedy, because it's one of the few performances that you regularly bomb at and you continue to get back on stage.
Yeah.
What's something about bombing that taught you about being a performer and has helped you become a stronger performer?
I think that the first several years, it hurts so fucking bad that it's like I'm going to get better. This hurt, like, you're to run away from the pain. I will figure this out, because when you got the little bit of good, it felt so good. And so the fact that it was so painful is what it was the fuel to get better and to I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out because I hate pain more than anything in the world. And so it did that. But now, however many years in this is now, I'm on the other side of it, where I heavily admire people who do not give a shit about bombing, who like walking the audience, who are so confident and just empowered.
I think it goes back to that authenticity too.
Yeah, that they're like, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's a you problem. And so they're not running away because they know what they're saying is either so true or so funny or so whatever, that they just are unapologetically them and feel nothing if they're bombing, or are laughing at how awkward and funny it is for them. But I don't give a shit. I look up to that so much because I spent so much of my life as a people pleaser. And I think that's I know that's why I was so drawn into like the modern avant-garde LA clown scene. Is that there is so much bombing involved, and they are just eating it up and loving it, and loving the almost like third person perspective. If somebody were to see this situation of an entire crowd of people not liking what's happening on stage and eating that up. And I want that power. And I've gotten close to it. And then every once in a while I'm like, oh, they hate me. And I'm like, no, I don't. I want to be so confident in myself that I don't care if they hate me, because I love what I'm doing right now. And so I'm now learning, I'm in the process of learning to embrace the bomb.
That is something very I agree. When I think of the clowns in my life and the performer clowns that I see, because there's a big clown scene in the Bay Area, and like the Venn diagram of clowns and drag is like almost a circle. And yes, there is a very zero fucks given that makes it fun. Like it helps you buy into the fantasy. Have you ever had a crowd? So your number has a very specific beginning, middle, and end. And if you don't know what's coming, you don't know what's coming. And so I can imagine that when you get to the end, everybody's bought in. But have you ever had audiences that in that beginning, that first act of your number, that they don't get it and they're just kind of staring at you like, what the fuck is going on? What do you do with that?
Actually, thank you for saying that, because I think you just gave me my answer to the last thing we were thinking, because yes, that does happen, and I don't give a shit because I know that it's amazing, and I know
You're just like, you have no idea.
exactly.
You
don't
have no
know.
idea.
I know that there's a 99.9. Like one time, one person walked out, and even then, they might have had to go to the restroom.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like
In my world, in my Minecraft, they had to go to the bathroom.
but like that anytime I've seen the like
Yeah.
faces,
Yeah.
because I do, I'm being silly.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot.
There is a very specific beginning, middle, and end. It almost is like beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah,
to
there's
the act.
there's an arc, there's a storyline,
Yes.
kind of.
Yes.
And so when people are very uncomfortable with what I'm doing at first, I know I'm gonna win them over, because once I'm at the end, they're clapping, they're singing, they're cheering, like they fucking love it. So it doesn't affect me at all, because I'm like, you'll love it, just calm down, it's fine.
Sure.
But that's what we said last time about like wanting that in comedy, in other situations, in regular clowning situations.
Sure.
I can respond that way now because I am so sure of what I'm doing. I need to have that level of assuredness in other things.
Yes.
To have that, like, I got you, it's fine.
Yes.
You're gonna love this.
Yes. When I look at like some of your material from like pre-Charlie days, when you were kind of doing like your, what I think you would call like aging showgirl kind of like comedy act, right? What would the aging showgirl give as advice to baby ingenue Kiki Maroon?
Oh my God. To believe in yourself. You're gonna make me cry again.
Oh.
You know what? So when I first started doing stand-up, I had probably been doing burlesque maybe a year and a half first. And so when I started doing stand-up, I was within the Houston scene, that burlesque girl, and it's not the healthiest scene. And so there was, even when, if I got introduced at an open mic, they'd be like, and your next comic, you've probably seen her titties. Welcome out, Kiki Maroon. And so but there were comics that were actually like more like headliners, like actual comics, not open micers, who did help me, who did give me guidance and mentorship. And one of the things that they would always say is, just like, because I would wear skirts all the time, like that, like wear pants, cover up, do all this stuff, because you don't want to fight uphill. You don't want to fight uphill of trying to win them over. So if you just really, basically tone everything down so that they listen to your words, which made sense to me at the time. Mm-hmm. Fast forward many, many, many years, I'm like, in what world of entertainment are they like, can you not be hot, please?
I know.
Can
Or
you
like
not-
different or
can you not-
unique.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
so
I mean?
like, I understand that.
Because like, how many girls do I like? The number of girls that I've seen on stage in like a cardigan and jeans is like countless. Mm-hmm. But how many girls have I seen like in a Las Vegas showgirl outfit doing comedy on stage? Like, I think Kiki Maroon.
Yeah, and I understand. Like, I do believe they were truly trying to be helpful.
Of course.
And that advice works on a micro level of within this world, in this spot. You do this. Mm-hmm. But on a macro level, if you're talking entertainment as a whole,
of
my
course,
nose is running from crying
it's
earlier.
okay.
Entertainment as a whole, if you're talking mainstream, if you're talking, trying to like make it big, there is no agent, producer, whoever that's going to be like, but can you not be hot as we're trying to like market you?
Can you be ugly, please?
And I'm just like, and now I'm just like, oh my God. But it took me 12, maybe 13 years before I started doing stand-up, just in dresses and skirts and feeling like that. And then into my showgirl outfits as like, no, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I do. And I'm going to do it in my full everything.
Yes.
It took me forever. And then once I did, it was like, people were like, oh, you do that showgirl thing. And I'm like, what world? Why did I believe that I needed to tone it down? But that's also like a life thing that I've always learned, the idea of like, I don't have to be smaller to be liked, And so I wish I could tell younger Kiki that like don't stop
big and
fucking
bold.
stop trying to be small for everybody. Fuck everybody.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, and I think sometimes people are just like low key subconscious haters. Like it's just and they might not even have the intention. And sometimes I think people also just socialize to believe certain things, and so then they think that they have to like perpetuate that socialization. And no, like, you know, it's just, I believe in like standing out in the crowd, especially if you're in entertainment.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, first of all, I love the evolution. I love the growth. When you had your birthday posts, there's a photographer that you've shot with over the years. And I just had to tell you, like, the kudos, Mama Diva, for the growth, for the evolution. Like,
Thank
you
you.
just, you've evolved. Like, you're like an evolved Pokemon. And I just love seeing it. Like, it just made my little, like, Grinch heart grow a couple of sizes. And so I just, like, I don't know, it made me feel proud. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
And so you've evolved so much. Your style, your performance, your artistic voice. Kiki Maroon today, if you're going to describe your performance style in 3 words, what are the 3 words that we're using? What's this word cloud that is Kiki Maroon?
Oh,
Bing.
whimsical,
Uh-huh. Bing.
sexy.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Bing.
What's
Funny.
no? What, I don't know a word to
Charismatic,
describe.
charming.
No, I'm thinking of a word that describes how I come on the crowd.
Oh, burstful. It's just.
That.
It's just.
Wait, that's the word. That's a fun word. That's the last word.
It's the droplet emoji. Kiki Maroon, we have reached the end of the main show. We will come back to the Patreon, patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. We're going to have Kiki play What's in My Telfie. It was not a game last time we were together, so I'm very excited for Kiki to play What's in My Telfie. If you like live performances, if you like silly shows, if you like things like this, please, if you're in the San Francisco area, or even if you're not, come into San Francisco for August 7th, MeMeCherry's Big Bake. I'm hosting the Bay Area's first reverse roast.
Ooh, is that like compliments?
Yes.
I love it.
Okay, good. Yes,
love
enough
it.
people giggled at the idea that I had to do it. And so the show overall is bringing comedy, drag, podcasting, this to the stage. So the first half of the show, we'll have some drag, we'll have some stand-up comedy, we'll have some silly podcasting games, we'll have an intermission, and then we'll come back for the Big Bake, where we will bake each other, because the world is dark enough as it is, and we don't need to put each other down. So we're gonna uplift each other in a cunty way, but we're gonna be uplifting each other.
I love it.
And then there might be like a super secret mega number at the end that maybe a certain MeMeCherry might perform and drag. So please, sofepod.com/live, LIVE, for your tickets. Also, for an Oasis show in San Francisco, shout out Oasis. They're giving us a deal. Like, these tickets are like practically free. They're like, it's like girl math. Like, you should be like grateful to give me your money.
Do it.
So please buy a ticket while you can. And yes, Kiki, I adore you. I love you. You're the
love
best.
you.
Oh, and also on the record, like, these Vegas trips literally would not have happened without you. Like, you introduced me to people. You were so generous. You gave me tickets to your show, and you continue to be generous with your time. And I'm just so
Yeah, I
grateful
think
for
you're
you.
so wonderful. I'm glad that it worked and you connected with all these people, because
Yes.
I think that that's what all of this is about.
Yeah.
You know,
Now I'm gonna start crying.
community, growth,
Okay.
all of it.
Before I start crying. Bye. Bye.